team. Um, Today's video is going to be on vegetarianism and veganism. I'll give it a couple of minutes because I know a few of you guys get notifications and then you'll jump on. But if you have any questions at all during the next however long we spend talking, feel free to chuck them in the comments. I hope everyone's having an awesome week. We are cracking through the challenge. It's flying by really, really fast. Nearly halfway there pretty much. Obviously, you've had your fitness test. Remember, you do need to record your push-ups, your mountain climbers, and your 1K time trial throughout the duration if you like as well. Then this is just you recording it on your own. If you need a trainer to help you, let us know. But otherwise, we will be in touch for your final assessments and testing in week 6. Keep cranking out the awesome work. Hey, Thomas. I'll pretty much get into it. Basically, veganism and vegetarianism, I guess. What is it? The way they differ. With vegetarian diets, you've got quite a few different types of diets. So there's what you call a lacto-vegetarian, which I believe is somebody that only eats eggs but no meat. And then you've got pescatarian, who only eats fish but not chicken, but they still say they don't eat meat. And then you've got a pure vegetarian that actually doesn't eat meat, doesn't eat fish. They may consume eggs though. When I was vegetarian, I've been vegetarian for 5 years when I was about 15, so 15 through to like 20, and then I was vegan for 2 years after that. When I went through my experience of being a vegetarian, I didn't eat meat at all. That included fish, chicken, and obviously red meat. And for me, this was purely ethical. I was one of those crazy people at uni that, wore those pigs are our friends bags, not pork. But having said that, I didn't preach it. And I think if you don't preach it, and you just wait for people to ask, then you're more inclined to be able to educate people on vegetarian and veganism diets. So I enjoyed it. Personally, when I was vegetarian, I found that I was actually the healthiest I ever was. I found my skin was the best, my digestion was the best. So if you do it right and you're educated about what you're doing, then it's a completely healthy diet to be on. You've got to try it for yourself, obviously. Everybody is different and everybody is different as well. So, you may find that you're fine with digesting red meat, whereas some people aren't. So, again, it's just finding that diet that works for you. But that's the vegetarian side of the camp. And then you've got the vegans who basically don't eat any animal products. So, that includes dairy, so yogurt, milk, cheese, whatever else you make with dairy, so they don't eat dairy, they don't eat eggs or any egg products, they don't eat meat, and they don't have any products that come from an animal. So you'll find things like gelatin, they won't have that, bone broth, they won't have that. Again, anything that comes from an animal. And it can be a really healthy way of living as well. If you know what you're doing and you're educated about your food choices, it's a completely healthy way of living. In terms of supplements for each diet, when you're a vegetarian, you don't actually need to supplement with anything. You can get enough essential minerals and vitamins and complete proteins from any of the plant-based foods. Again, it's just education. However, when you decide to go vegan, then you do have to look at supplementing with B12. Now, that is the only supplement that you do need in a healthy vegan diet, only because B12 is found in meat products and dairy products. There is no real vegan sources of B12. Some people may say that nutritional yeast does have B12, not to the point that you would need like healthily for your body. So when I was vegan, I just had like sublingual drops, which basically you just place under your tongue like 5 a day. And again, it's not derived from animal products, it's manufactured in a lab. So I guess, it's not completely natural in terms of, coming from food as such, but it is a better alternative for those that aren't wanting to eat animal products and can just get the supplement form. So have a look into that. What else do I have? I've got a little notepad written down because we've had a few questions come through, but again, if you guys have any questions, just chuck them in below. So in terms of supplements, some people might look at protein powders. Now, protein powders are an excellent way to get more protein into your diet, especially if you are vegan or vegetarian and you find that it's quite hard to, I guess, get those protein sources without having heaps of carbs with them, because naturally your plant-based protein sources do contain carbs. We'll get into options later on what those are. But if you're looking for a good protein powder, over the years I've pretty much tried everything, and I have learned that different brands will taste different. So it's not just like whey, where you can, get an optimum nutrition product and then you could get a ProSups product, and they taste similar. One might taste better, but they're both palatable. With plant-based protein powders, they are quite extreme. So generally, I would steer clear of soy-based products, purely because they are quite a lot of the time manufactured. They've got gems in them as well. Technically, I'll just avoid soy. There is a lot of controversy around soy. Some people say that it's okay. Some people say that it's not. Yeah, in my opinion, I would just steer clear of it and go for more options like your rice protein or pea protein. Pea isolate is very, very popular, and is pretty much the bulk of most plant-based proteins these days. So anything that's got pea, rice, hemp, I've even seen quinoa. What else is there? Artichoke. Uh, it depends on what one you go for, but there's a lot of like seed based protein powders coming out. But if you just stick with the general pea protein, you'll be fine. In terms of brands, so the best ones I have found for taste is probably by far Nuzest. So Nuzest, they do the clean lean proteins. You would have seen them. They're pretty much sold at most health food stores, pharmacies. Huckleberry sells them as well. So basically, they sell plant-based proteins, and they also sell good green formulas as well. So if you're wanting like a good green powder to add, for your vitamins and your minerals, Nuzest do a really, really good one. It actually tastes nice. It doesn't taste bitter like spirulina. So so basically any of the Nuzest ones, it's just called Clean Lean Protein. They come in 6 different flavors. So the new range they've got out, they're really, really nice. So they've got like chai flavored ones. They've got coconut and coffee with MCTs. They've got vanilla matcha. Then they've got your normal vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and natural. So actually 7 flavors. So I would go for Clean Lean. Clean Lean is great for baking as well. It doesn't dry out. That's the other thing with plant-based proteins, is you'll find when you bake with them, it keeps a lot of moisture. So it's fantastic if you're wanting to make like protein muffins or a protein cake or just something fun that's kind of healthy as well. That's where plant-based protein is awesome for that one. So any of them. The other one I've got here is Prana. So Prana is relatively new to New Zealand. It pretty much was introduced, what's this month? I would say end of last year around October. They had a stand at the Fitness Expo, and basically they've come over from Australia. Really, really good company. Top quality protein powders. They've got a few different ranges as well. So they have thermogenic proteins that have properties in them that obviously help with fat burning. And I say that because, again, we know that having a protein powder that has a fat burning property in it isn't going to make you lose fat. Might help with that, but it's not going to be, the be all end all. So they've got that. Then they've also got your normal protein powders. They've got ones with antioxidants in them as well. So they've got like special berry complexes. To be honest, Prana, they taste really, really nice. They are a little bit more expensive than Nuzest, but again, it's kind of like you get what you pay, you get, and it is a good quality protein powder. It is kind of aimed at those people that are very active, aimed at athletes. Some of them have creatine, glutamine, some amino acids in them as well. So in terms of a protein powder that's got more in it, it would be my top pick for a protein powder. I've seen them at Health 2000. That's pretty much the only place I have seen them sold. So if you wanted to check them out, just go in, have a look. Don't necessarily take what the retail assistant sells you on them, because basically, they're just a retail assistant at the end of the day. They're not a nutritionist. So if you've got any questions, let us know and we can help you out there. But again, Prana is a really awesome range. What else we've got? Balance. Now, Balance do a plant-based protein. It is quite nice. In terms of drinking it, personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. My partner's had it, he likes it, so again, it depends on the taste. However, their vanilla one tastes amazing if you do cooking with it. It pretty much tastes like the Girl Guide biscuits, if you've had those. It's got that like real vanilla taste. So that's the balanced one. It comes in a small tub, and again, you can buy them at any of the supplement stores as well. Sometimes they sell them, or Health 2000. Sun Warrior. Sun Warrior is another range. Really, really good. In fact, it was probably my first ever plant-based protein I got. Again, it's quite thick, so great for baking. Also really nice if you're wanting to make mousses with it. As a snack, I'll often recommend to clients just get like a scoop of protein, add in a couple of walnuts and a bit of water, and just stir it, and it will go like a yogurt in texture. It's very, very nice. And the Sunmurray one tastes amazing, the chocolate flavour. So you can actually buy that on iHerb. Some of these you can get on iHerb for cheaper than you can here in New Zealand. So it's just about being smart and looking for those deals. And yeah, so those are the top four that I would personally pick. Of course, there's a lot of other plant-based proteins out there. Um, Again, it depends on, your digestion. Sometimes pea proteins can be harder to digest than a whey isolate. So that's where I would stick with the Prana, Balance, New Zest, or Sun Warrior brands. Because personally I found those have worked really well for me, and I've had quite a sensitive tummy over time. So see how you go, try them out. If you guys have any questions, just chat them below. I'd love to hear from you if you have been vegetarian, or you're thinking about going vegetarian, or you've got friends that are vegan or vegetarians. So the other thing I'm going to talk about is plant-based sources of protein. So obviously you've got your protein powders. Now you'll notice in the supermarkets, pretty much where the yogurt section is, there's a lot of fake meats coming out these days. So you've got like sausages, hamburgers, bacon, whatever you'd find normally you can pretty much get now vegan. With these products, I tend to say they're a little bit, some of them have a lot of crap added to them, to be straightforward. Like some of the sausages, you'll look at the ingredient list and it's this long. It's got so many fillers, and the main ingredient that gives you the bulk of the meat it comes from a product called TVP. Now, TVP stands for textured vegetable protein, which is derived from soy. So again, if you're trying to steer clear of the soy, I would kind of stay away from those fake meats. A lot of the time, the fake meats have very high sodium content as well, and they're heavily, heavily processed. They've been sitting on that shelf for hell knows long. So basically, if you're wanting to go for plant-based sources, your best bet would be things like tempeh, which is fermented soy. Now, the reason this is better than just normal soy is half the time it's non-GM, so it's not been genetically modified, and it's got a bit of probiotic in it as well, so it's actually pretty good for your gut. And it looks weird, it kind of comes in like a slab, but if you cut it up and you stir fry it can actually be pretty nice. Same with tofu. Tofu is obviously another basic option that we all know about. Again, if you are wanting to go for tofu, with it being soy-based, I would try to go for organic tofu that is non-GM, purely because that will be so much better for your body, so much better for your hormones. It will digest better. Again, it's more natural than a generic tofu that you find in like those little supermarkets, where they have them quite cheap. So I would generally go for again, it is more expensive, but it's quality nutrition. Then you've got all your beans, all your nuts, all your seeds, and these are your kind of like your foundation when you're vegan or you're vegetarian. When you combine different sources of beans, seeds, and nuts, that's where you get your complete amino acid profile. So when people say to you, oh, you can't get enough protein as a vegan, that's rubbish if you combine your beans with your seeds, with your nuts, because every different food source has different properties of amino acids in them. They don't all contain the same. So it's not like chicken that has a whole amino acid profile. So if you were to have, say, 10 almonds with half a cup of chickpeas, and a few kidney beans chucked in there and a bit of pumpkin seeds or something throughout your diet in a day, you will be having enough amino acids. You'll be fine. So that was my top pick. When I was vegan, I used to love making falafel, and it's fantastic. You can make it at home. It's super easy. Just get your chickpeas, onion, garlic. What else do we use? Tahini and lemon juice. and you pretty much just blend it in a blender and then make it into little balls. You can fry it or you can bake it in the oven. So it's about getting crafty. If you do decide to go vegan or vegetarian, you do need to be very aware of the preparation that is involved if you're wanting to do it healthily, because it's not as easy as just running into the store and grabbing a chicken salad and running out. A lot of places don't have options, so it's just about setting out your meals again in advance and saying, okay, maybe I'm going to have falafel this night, maybe I'll have a chickpea stew this night, maybe I'll have a black bean curry this night, or whatever it is. And that way you can smartly map out your nutrition and make sure that you've got all the sources involved, so you're not limiting yourself to one thing. Nuts, butters, protein powders, what else? You can get some really, really nice, they do come in a can, but there is like nut meat options, I think they're called. They're nice for a treat if you're just wanting to spruce up your diet a little bit. You want to make some burgers or something. You can get those pre-made, and again, they are pretty okay. They come from peanuts. As opposed to soy, so it's just in a tin, again in the supermarket, expensive, $8 a thing, but again, you know, if you want to just treat yourself and make like a burger or something, you can go for that. What else do I have down here? That's pretty much it, really. The main principle of, you know, your plant-based diets is to make sure that you are getting enough protein, and also that your diet is rich in vegetables, because that should be the foundation of your diet. So when you are looking at your meal and you're looking at, okay, how do I make a meal for dinner or lunch, whatever it is, I would always start with your protein. So ask yourself, where am I getting my protein from? Is it from tempeh? Is it from chickpeas? Am I making falafel? You know, where is that protein coming from? And that is your one source. Then, of course, you want to add heaps and heaps of veggies to that. Now, naturally, things like beans, chickpeas, they are quite high in carbohydrates, so that's not bad at all. But if you are looking to follow more of a low carb diet plan, then that's where I would look at adding in your plant-based protein powders, purely because it is a whole food option because it's derived from pea isolate, depending on how it's processed. If you get a good quality powder, that is a really great base to make so many things from. You know, you can mix it into your oats in the morning. You can make pancakes with it. There's so many things you can do. If you guys need ideas, let me know and we can share some recipes on the page. But you will be amazed. There's some fantastic places around in Auckland. You've got Wise Cicada, you've got Huckleberry, you've got Bird on a Wire, I think it's called. It's one that is, there is a vegan one anyway. And then you've got Little Bird Organics. And all these little places have fantastic options that are vegan based, and you know, you can just rock along and they've got meals made, they've got cheesecakes, they've got cookies, they've got all these like healthy treats that, you know, they come from cashews or dates. It's amazing what you can make. It's just being, you know, open to those ideas and having a look around them. So yeah, that'll probably conclude today's video. Just a nice quick one, I think. I don't know how long it went for. But again, if you guys have any questions, just let us know. We're here to help you. And you can follow a vegan diet and be extremely healthy. There's so many top performing athletes out there that follow a plant-based diet. Again, it's just knowing about nutrition, taking an active step in your health, and actually taking ownership for your health and asking yourself, how much knowledge do I know about this? Do I need to know more? Do I need to get a coach to actually help me plan out a nutrition plan that's going to cover all my nutrition so I don't have to take supplements? Because that is what I would recommend at the end of the day. Seek help from a qualified professional. They're there to help you, and you know, we have studied this stuff so we can help you. So hopefully that helps. But have a great rest of your week, guys. What is today? Today is Tuesday, so we've got a bit of the week to go. Feels like it's Thursday. I don't know why. But yeah, hopefully that helps anyway. And if you've got any questions, just let us know. Otherwise, we will see you smashing it in the gym.